this probably never happens to you, but if you're starting and you're having trouble holding your lane, you know, and stuff.
Oh, it happens. Yeah, it happens.
It's through your head, you know, and stuff, and trying to figure it out on the fly.
So, if you're struggling to hold a lane, so you've got the boat underneath you squeezing you, is that the challenge? You started in the wrong place. So I think you weren't aggressive enough to build yourself a runway before, and you've got to be looking at your bailout options. You know, because once you're in that trap, your chances of getting out of it are slim to none. You know, occasionally they'll make a mistake or hit a wave, and you just get a chance to get away. And when you're in that, you are watching that boat as close as you can for any opportunity you can to climb. But once you know you've got you're dead, because you start going backwards, right? They start pulling you. You've got two ways out: tacking or footing underneath them. So the first call is do I want to go left or do I want to go right? And if you want to go left, then you've got a foot underneath them. You've got to try and sail around them.
In a big fleet, that's sometimes a big bite.
That's a big ask. But then if you want to go left, it's better to go slow the right way than fast the wrong way. But if you're forced to tacking it off of the gate start is not the end of the world, because you get a great lift off all the back of all the boats, and you can sail, and you'll find, you know, at first you're way behind, and then you're getting closer and closer to the boats, and then, you know, your problem is the bad starters, you am across them or not, and you'll often come out, you know, looking really good at the end of it.
Can we talk about the start, Mike? Can we just go through the process and what your philosophy on where to start, why to start, and just from kind of start
on the start line, the guys who've been out there before you and prepped are going to know better what's going on. So then, assuming you've got a picture of what's going on a gate start, we just have a really consistent routine. Depending on the number of boats and how crowded it is, somewhere around a minute to 45 seconds before the start, we'll sheet in round the leeward mark or round the pin start mark, and sail upwind and look at the compass, and make a really instant decision. Do we want to be the pathfinder, or do we not want to be the pathfinder? And that's a really fairly basic decision. The numbers are up, yeah, the pathfinder's lifted, we're happy to be the pathfinder. We'll carry on sailing until we see a change or not, assuming that we haven't decided we want to go left. Yeah, if we decided we want to go left, then we'll be banking an early start anyway, and then we'll just sail. And you've got the time, so we'll be timing. So if it's a 1 minute start, you can sail for up to a minute. And what we do is we deliberately sail soft. I don't hike, you know, cruise high on the wire, and we're just sailing about 60% of our sort of effort. And then, you know, just keep talking. We like the numbers. Oh, header. We'll dive around and we'll start. Yeah, because that way you're getting all the advantages of the pathfinder with the ability to tack when you want. So that's basically what we do pre-start. Then once you've picked that space, you've now got to work out how you get the best start in a crowded environment. So if you've got a crowded environment, you want to be the leeward boat, controlling all the boats above you. You want as much space underneath you as you possibly can. So what you're doing is just getting uncomfortably close to your windward neighbour, just forcing them up to build your space, but keeping an eye on the guy who's going to come in and steal that space from you. So you want that space to look as unappetising as possible for as long as possible, until everybody's kind of got their space, and then push up to the boat above you and give yourself as much space as you can. And if there's a big space to windward and there's not much space to leeward, tack. Do 2 quick tacks and hook yourself up, so you've got that space to windward, because that's a leeward. Because that space to leeward is everything to you. That is your runway to success. That's going to get you off the start line, give you space, and be able to control.
How much space are you talking about? 1 boat length? 3 boat lengths? Are you talking about?
That shed's too close.
It's too close.
Yeah, that shed's too close. So any closer than that is too close.
And you should use it when you get going, right? Not just keep pinching.
We're talking about the start here.
Yeah. So going through the start, And then what you really want to do is you want to hit the back of the boat on the wind. You don't want to be having to sort of do that L turn that everybody was doing yesterday around the back of the boat. And there's a couple of tricks I use to try to maximise the potential for that to happen. I don't pull any vang on until I've gone past the engine. So the engine has gone past my shrouds, I'm not putting on the vang. Because that enables me to keep the boat close to head to wind without any forward pace. As soon as you pull the vang on, the boat wants to go forward. The boat's taking you forward. If you keep the vang off, the boat will not move forward. It will just sit there. And it also has the added benefit that you can put the bow down when you want. So if you need to burn some distance down, with the vang off, you can just turn the boat. Even when it's pretty windy, you can drop the bow down and come down and then turn back up without actually burning any of the forward distance. Because often that runway forward may only be 1 or 2 boat lengths, because the pathfinder, especially the pathfinder's been headed and is down. Now, it's a really difficult communication between the helm and the crew on that, where the pathfinder is. Can you see him? Is he high? Is he low? Are we above the course? There's a bunch of boats in the way, and you can't really see what's going on. So it's an optimistic sound.
Yeah.
So I'm just continually talking about that. And if we think we're low, the call on the boat is we're racing. And if either of us here we're racing, that means we go full speed to start. Go.
At that point, is your crew sheeted in on the jib to race mode? Sheeted in?
Absolutely. We're maximum upwind speed. So sheet in, hit the wire, hike hard, go. And then the other thing that I'm doing instantly is I'm making sure I'm sailing the highest course possible through that period too.
Ooh.
So that I'm clearing as much speed. Where do we think the pressure is? We talked about this at dinner last night. What are our compass numbers? Have we written them all down? What's the wind doing? What do we expect it to do? So you need to run through all those checklists. The forecast says it's going right all day. Well, on a gate start, if it's going right all day, you probably want to be late starting. So you want to have your general plan for what you think the day's going to do. Then take the information you're seeing. There's clouds over to the right. There's more pressure on the left because of a geographic effect. Whatever it is, have those conversations so you know what your plan is for that race.
Mike, what do you think is, when you hop in the boat with people or talk with people, and especially new guys, what do you think is the biggest mistake that people make as new 5.0 drivers? What do you think is the biggest mistake and an easy curable?
That's a tough one.
Get a better crew.
No, I think spend more money. Go sailing more. I think the thing that where probably to reverse it is, how do I win races? Where do I make the distance? Because I think that tells you where people are losing the distance, right? So on the start line, people make some fairly major mistakes particularly on a gate start, but even on a line start, where people start by not racing on the start line. They kind of look for the easy option on the start line rather than competing on the start line and fighting for their rights. So most races are over in the first 100 yards when they do that. They're already in the second row, and then what you see on the racetrack is people compound the errors. You then overstand the windward mark. So you've given away 100 yards on the start, you then overstand the windward mark, you've given away another 100 yards, and maybe you lost 50 yards because you were slower anyway. So you're now a quarter of a mile behind. So, and 200 yards of that was a freebie, right? The 50 yards because you're not quite as quick, well, that you got to work on. But the 200-yard chunks, they're gimmies. So, and then you'll see the same thing at the leeward mark. If I'm the sets, I think everybody does a pretty good job of setting. But you see people give away a ton of distance at the leeward mark by not being organised and going around, flailing around the leeward mark. Drop the spinnaker 5 or 6 seconds earlier and be prepared to go around the leeward mark, rather than try and carry the spinnaker to the last second and then go around, the jib's flapping, the boat's heeling over, the board's not down. Oh shit! I didn't get the outhaul back on. Because I almost always know that if I'm behind somebody, I just nice steady early drop, come inside them, and I'm past them. And you see people give away another 10-20 seconds at the leeward mark every time. So drop the spinnaker a bit earlier and be sorted. When I was first sailing 5-0s, I sailed with a guy who was a coach, and he would just chant his mantras at every mark. In wide, out tight, in wide, out tight. So it was ingrained in me to make sure that it's the exit that matters, right? It's not the entry, it's the way you come out of the mark. So make sure you minimise all your losses, and then.
And that kind of mentality actually applies pretty well around the whole course. Like if your boat speed is in the range, sail conservatively, and you're gonna, worst case scenario, you lose a quarter of boat length because you did something conservative, but you don't lose 20 seconds.
And I think that's the key to it. It isn't what people gain; it's what people don't lose.
Right.
So it's all of our boats are going around. Their boat speed is somewhat similar. The windier it gets, the more it varies. But in like yesterday, everybody should be able to make their boat go in a straight line at the same speed. It's the tactical decisions that they make and the way they execute the corners and the turns that matter. So, and each of those add up at the end of the race. And I think every time you finish a race, you should be going, okay, well, where did we go wrong? What did we do wrong? Where did we leave distance on the racetrack? And then work on the ones where you go, that's where I lost the most ground. It was the start, it was the leeward mark, it was attacking, whatever it was, and then deal with that. Once it gets windier, it gets a bit more complicated. I think the boat speed, as the wind increases, the boat speed differentials increase, particularly downwind. The difference between somebody sailing the boat fast downwind and somebody not, it can be 2x.